Welcome back to How to Make a Doom Mod. In the previous episode we discussed how to make a basic map, and this will show you the technicalities of how to make a multiplayer map. This will be slightly shorter than usual, as this is only really glossing over things I didn't cover in the previous episode, as this was mainly for like single player maps. And this will show you how to make a map into a multiplayer map and how to make deathmatch, team deathmatch, capture the flag, etc. style maps. For the purpose of this video, I'll class them kinds of maps as adversarial, as adversary. Excuse my proper pronunciation. It's from Sniper Elite 4, I believe. Adversarial game modes like deathmatch, team deathmatch. I'll probably just resort to call them deathmatch maps. So what I'm going to do is copy and paste this. Move get the episodes together just so it looks neater. Oops. And put a D there. The reason why I called this one HMAP01 is because it stands for How to Make a Doom Mod Map 01. D just means deathmatch, so deathmatch How to Make a Doom Mod Map. I'll call this Basic Deathmatch Map, and I'll change the song to Demon. That track plays during the refueling base from Doom 2, and set the other episodes to the deathmatch map. It's quite basic deathmatch. So what I've done here is I've added the other episode for deathmatch maps, and you don't have to do this. It doesn't make any odds really. It's just so it's for the purposes of this video. An episode just for deathmatch maps, and I've defined what the deathmatch map is, and I put a D there for when I do future deathmatch style maps. Okay, so that's all done. Save that, and then what I'm going to do is come down here, copy and paste this, which was the map we made in the previous episode, and that's it. That's all I'm going to do for editing in Slump. I'm going to move on to Doom Build 2, make the first map we made into a multiplayer map. Now, what I mean by that is if you play it normally, HMAP01, that's the one we use. If you play it normally on single player, what you see in the first episode is what you'll get. But when you launch this in cooperative, it will do something slightly different. And I'll show you exactly what in a moment. So first of all, if you just have one spawn, more than one player trying to spawn at the same time will just result in killing each other via telefrag. So to avoid this, I will, on with things mode active, drag and drop a spawn, right click on it, up on the compass, make sure it's facing the same way as the player 1, and click player 2 start. So that's more set for 2 player. I'll make this 4 player so I can drag and drop more spawns like so. Change that one to 3 and change that one to 4. You can have up to 8 spawns, but you can have more than 8 players. It just means that some players may die upon spawning. So this is now eligible for multiplayer, but I want to take this a step further. I want to make things different when you play multiplayer. It can't quite do much in terms of the geometry with multiplayer. There are like tricks you can do with Doom format without the use of certain coding. I won't be doing it in this episode, but I'll give a quick rundown. What I would do is create a tiny sector, or like a tiny corridor, like this. Or obviously much thinner than that. A little mini room here, and then I would sort of try and block as much visual as possible here, and with any monster, like a cacodemon or something, tick multiplayer, put a line trigger here, so when he goes over this line, it does something. That's how I would do it, but that's quite technical for this episode, and I won't be doing it in this particular episode. I will potentially cover it in future. As this is a basic map, I'm going to say keep to basics. So, since it's going to be multiplayer, more players will mean there'll be a high demand for ammunition. So what I'm going to do is, with things mode active, drag and drop some things, switch to the Kakademe into the ammo clip, put some clips down, like so. Let's slide this up. Highlight these four and make sure multiplayer is ticked. In my case it is, and just like that it's done. I can do the same for a power up, drag and drop that there, tick multiplayer. Got 2 solar spheres now. It's the same for any of these things like decorations, monsters, items, power ups, weapons, etc. What I'll do is I'll also demonstrate a monster. I'll put down a mancubus, which will only spawn if you play on multiplayer. So I'm going to save this, and I'm going to demonstrate this in single player. So as you can see, there's no ammo clip, no mancubus. I must warn you, there's a ghoul in this. It's featured in the previous episodes. I do apologise for any viewers who may find this quite frightening, but it was a monster that I made for simplicity's sake, as ghouls don't require any rotations or any real coding. And I'm not really trying to push Ghoul's Forest style on anyone. It's just for simplicity. So, still nothing new. This works. So, we're going to then launch this into multiplayer. So now in an actual multiplayer session, when I enter here, there we go, multiplayer monsters and items have appeared. I actually used Doom Seeker to create this multiplayer session. I'll just demonstrate what's different here. I kind of lost access to the rocket launcher, which is fine. I can defeat them with this weapon. Or I could cause some infighting, as Decino will be pleased. This is too high. Because this is cooperative, I will respawn. Trouble is, this door is now locked. So yeah, this is multiplayer. Keys will remain for other players to pick up. And like so, 2 solar spheres now spawn.
Solar sphere. Solar sphere.
I tried to be clever there, get past the goal, but just pushing me back from the switch. So, as this is a multiplayer orientated episode, I will quickly show you how to work Doom Seeker. This is it, just open without clicking anything else. To create a basic server for yourself and your friends, go to File, Create Game. You want to set what your engine is. You can give a server name, ports, I'd often leave that. Choose what game mode you wish to play. Type in the map name, so in this case it was HMAP01. Select the IWAD. I discussed what IWADs were in the first episode, I believe, but just in case, IWADs are like the core Doom games. So Ultimate Doom was one, Doom 2 is one, Heretic, Hexen, Strife. You run other like PWADs off of IWADs, if that makes sense. You can choose like broadcast to local area network, so if you've got friends using the same network as you are, or if you're using Hamachi or something like that, that'll work that way. Broadcast to master, so that's you're going to play literally online with other people. You can set there what the difficulty is, other things you like, any like boxes you want to tick, don't bother with them. Like other compatibility things. Choose to disallow rocket jumping and item dropping, anything like that, but I don't bother with that. So that's basically how to work Doom Seeker. So that's how to basically turn your map into a cooperative compatible map. Now I'm going to show you how to make a deathmatch map, and these are very, very easy, really. It's just the detail you wish to put in which raises the difficulty factor. So we're going to run DMHMap01 as this is our designated deathmatch map, and I'm going to reload our resource. Use Doom 2. This is just to see the textures and sprites. And I'm going to select the things mode, delete everything, and whenever what these things do in the previous episode. I'll quickly gloss over them as well in this one. So vertices are your little dots, and use the line def mode, or in this case sector mode, to join them. But you don't do that really. You can just draw sectors in sector mode without putting dots down, because it does it for you. Okay, I'm going to do a very simple deathmatch map. I'll just create a big square room like this. Switch to line def mode and let's think. I'm going to make this very symmetrical as well. So I'll create a big plus symbol here, like so, and switch to make sectors mode. Just tick on these four, some of them independent from each other. Go to things mode, spawn in a visual camera. Oops, give me a look at that. Raise this to 256. Raise these to 128. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll make like a wall like that in each of these platforms. And then in each platform I create like a doorway. You don't have to do this, you can make whatever you want. This is just as simple as it can be, really. Now the reason why I'm doing this is making like these doors. You'll see why in a moment. Make sure everything's even, because this is me we're talking about. Yeah, so it's 160, 160. It's mainly thing for balance. You don't want to join the match and then instantly get shot at. Like if you're familiar with Call of Duty, the map shipment, we don't want to emulate the feeling of that. You want the people to have a fighting chance. Now you may be thinking, of course you can stay in the spawn area, but eventually you run out of ammunition, and plus you only start with a pistol. If you really want to join the fight, you have to jump down and pick up some weapons and fight each other to the death. Hence deathmatch. Like that. Not many now. Yeah. The thing I'm going for is like an arena aesthetic. Oops, ignore that. Okay, just going to go into visual mode. You can do this without using visual mode. I always prefer to use visual mode for this kind of thing. Just going to raise these up using the mouse wheel after I've selected them. And just going to highlight everything in line depth mode. Like I say, this is not a tutorial of how to make a map, this is how to make something deathmatch compatible, or multiplayer compatible. When it comes to the important bits, then I will slow down. Texture these, I give this just a brick texture just to match to the walls. Like that. Align them. So when you start, you'll start perhaps here. You can choose to fire each other with your pistol, or I can jump down and engage in close quarter combat. Right then, I'm going to put down a power up in the centre, maybe. Something like that. Put down maybe a megasphere. There. In the middle of these, I'll put down a rapid gun. So something to fight with when you jump down, so you can fight over. I think one of these isn't even. Oops. No, it's just my eyes playing up. Perhaps when you start, I'll put down some ammunition. Like that. I'll just put a rocket box. Spin these. Using Control V, Control C. That's a Control C, Control V to do this. Like that. Excellent. I put rockets down, so I'll put down a missile launcher somewhere. Put a missile launcher in each of these corners. Okay, I like the look of that. That's quite nice. I'll tell you what, I'll also put down some medikits, just in case on a killing spree you want to recharge your batteries. Right then, now I'm going to put down some spawns. I'll put a player deathmatch start. One in that corner. One in this corner, this one, and this one. There you go. And that is a deathmatch map. That's all you have to do. So again, using Doom Seeker, I'll put DHMap01 for deathmatch, the deathmatch map, because that's the name of the deathmatch map. Switch cooperative to deathmatch. Before I do play the deathmatch map, I'll make sure that items and mega power-ups do respawn before playing. And since I've no one to play with, unfortunately, I shall add some computer bots. Click add bot, add bot. Yeah, that's 2 bots. That's all we need, really. So, join game. And straight off the bat, we have combat.
You've lost the lead.
Not sure whether mouse looks been disabled for some reason. I'm not sure why that is, but the fundamentals are the same. A lot of kill. There you go. Items are respawning now. Rapid gun. They always seem to kill me with that. I said that because I did a test off camera. The missile launcher is, well, very prominent gun for computer bots. So if this was a capture the flag style mod, I wouldn't run this in the Z-Doom configuration. I'd use something like Skull Tag. That will give me access to the coloured flags. They're not here at the moment as this is the Z-Doom configuration. But if this were capture the flag or team deathmatch, I'd have access to blue and red spawns, and there'll be a section here called flags, which would enable me to place down coloured flags. But that will be a tutorial for another video, perhaps. Thank you very much for watching today's episode of How to Make a Doom Mod. As a final note, everything that I discussed in the previous episode is fully compatible with deathmatch maps. So for instance, if I wish to make opening and closing doors, that is possible. Yeah, that would work the same way. So for example, I wanted lifts or opening and closing doors, the same would apply. It doesn't matter if it's co-op or deathmatch, it will still work. So thank you very much for watching. Hope you learned something new. Be sure to tune in next time where I show you how to make a basic item. Thank you for watching. You have been watching the Mr. Skulltag channel. Be sure to check out the links in the description for more short films, entertaining videos, gaming videos, or check out our blog for future updates.